Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
My name is Tiger Say, and I'm here with my film Princess Yun, a Chinese period piece.
Oh, okay. Now, I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know much about it. So can you tell us about this movie?
It's a love story. It's a mythical period piece about a princess. And there's kung fu scene. It's really excited, and we filmed in the biggest studio in China. It's actually the same studio they filmed what's that, the Crouching Tiger? Wait, what is it? And also the last Emperor or whatever. So you should come see it. We built the set, the costume. We spent lots of effort into making it. I'm the director and writer. Mm-hmm.
Now, this is kind of exciting for me because I just saw the thing for Fire and Ice, I think, or Ice Fantasy. Have you seen that one?
I haven't checked it out yet, but I would love to. Yeah.
So, what made you want to write and direct a mythological drama?
It's part of it's my culture. I'm from China, and I always fascinated by Chinese culture and style, especially the period piece. You'll be able to do so much with it. You can be creative with the costume, with the set, and you can just make everything you want, bring it to reality. You know.
What was the hardest part in filming this kind of movie?
The hardest part in filming is the time. We actually fighting the time because like filming in a studio is a really different story in comparison to filming in any other place. In the studio, every day means more budget, so you have to really plan out every single detail. When you are in the studio, you are in the war. You have to make sure that you will finish it. You'll be able to accomplish it and complete it the way you want it to be. Yeah.
There's so many dramas that I've seen in China in terms of mythological fantasies. Which one has been your favorite, your inspiration?
My favorite film, I have lots of favorite films, but there is one scene in House of Flying Daggers, the dancing scene.
Yes.
That's my favorite. Actually, that gave me some inspiration for Princess Yun. And another TV show that gave me inspiration is the Game of Thrones. If you go watch it, you will notice that the style and the color. Just go watch it. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Sahir Sethi. I have a movie called Zoya, which is playing here on Tuesday. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Zoya, it's a short film which is set in India. It's about a man who's looking for a missing tiger while trying to reconnect with his estranged daughter. It's like a jungle adventure drama.
Now, why the tiger? Is there a reason, a metaphorical reason for it?
Yes, and you need to watch the movie to figure it out.
Oh, so it's the key to the movie.
Yes.
And then, what has been your inspiration for the film?
So, obviously, I really enjoy my time in the nature, and I still remember the first time I saw a tiger in the wild, and it's magical. You can never forget it. And ever since, I've been wanting to make a movie set in the wilderness where I could probably incorporate a tiger in it. Also, because tigers are close to extinction. They've been poached a lot, so maybe I could fit in a social message in there, try and bring awareness. But more importantly, tell a story which is very dramatic, emotional, and subtextual. Yeah.
Okay, you're just I just saw a tiger, and I'm just I see a coyote. That's.
Well, you need to go to the jungle safari to see the tigers, right?
There's a tiger.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, my name is Drew Roses. I'm the director of Shangri-LA, which is one of the episodic projects playing.
And I'm Mark Escribano, and I am an actor in his webisode.
I'm sorry, I got distracted by your hot dog hat.
I'm standing in Hot Dog Solidarity tonight. One of the characters in our show plays a guy who dresses up like a hot dog on Hollywood Boulevard, and so I wore the hot dog hat, just to show my support. He couldn't be here tonight.
Now I gotta say, can you tell us a little about the film and inspiration for it?
Yeah, Shangri-La is an episodic comedy. It essentially is homeless trying to make it in Hollywood. Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so it's an episodic comedy following a group of vagabonds trying to chase after the Hollywood dream. They're searching for paradise. It's a very familiar struggle. It's the universal struggle to find fame and freedom and, you know, everything that comes along with that.
Now after doing this kind of project, what can you say to people who are, like you said, struggling or trying to find that movie dream?
Yeah, you know, as far as I know, is what I've learned is you just have to keep fighting for it every day. It doesn't matter like what kind of breaks you get or how far you climb up the ladder. There's still another struggle to get to the next rung. So you just got to keep fighting, you know.
Okay, I would say that you got to give it time, and you can't. That sounds so cheesy. You can't give up. I always feel like in Hollywood, people come in reference to this. They come and they give it like a shot for a little while, and they think, oh, you know, nothing's going to happen. It's almost like you're not even here until you're here for a while. Yeah, you're a blip like everybody else. It's like you got to stick it out, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's it.
Also, make sure that you're having fun making this stuff, because you know, you might get in a festival, you might sell your project. Probably you won't. You're going to get a lot more rejections than you will approval. So if you're having fun doing it from the beginning, you've already won to a certain degree.
I mean, the hot dog hat already.
The hot dog hat, you know, I'm living the life.
Please?
Ariane Smith, and it's The Peculiar Adventures of Willow Bee Star.
What a title! Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. She's a teenage detective, and so it's very interesting animation, so it's for family audiences. Yeah.
I kind of have a suspicion on what the inspiration was from, but can you tell me where it was from?
Oh, actually, I got great inspiration from Alfred Hitchcock,
Oh, okay, that's not where
Agatha Christie,
Okay.
and then the Grand Budapest Hotel. Yeah, and Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks. Oh, I thought for sure you were going to say Nancy Drew. I thought it was going to be Nancy Drew inspiration.
No. Yeah, well, that was a long time ago.
I still love Nancy Drew.
Yeah, well.
Now, for filming this project, what was the coolest thing about working on this project?
My collaborators. Yeah.
What's so special about it?
They just get it. And it's like a weird brain that gets it. So, yeah. And also they're really generous and loving. And we got it done. So, and we're getting all sorts of awards. So that's also really nice.
My name's Christine, and I directed Divorce Photographer.
Oh my goodness. That sounds like a whole lot of fun. So, tell us about Divorce Photographer.
It's basically what it sounds like. It's about a wedding photographer who gets dumped, and she gets really bitter, and she decides to start shooting divorces as kind of revenge.
How do you even shoot divorces?
Well, that's a good question. You have to go see the film to see how it's done.
Now, was this inspired by real or just kind of pretend?
It's kind of a mix of both. So I used to be a wedding photographer. Yes, oh dear, indeed. And then one of those days, I got dumped right before I had to shoot a wedding, and it was like the worst experience ever. Really don't recommend it. And pretty much, yeah. And so yeah, it's awful, and I didn't quite do what the character in the movie does, but it's kind of my fantasy of what I wish happened. So yeah, it's a bit of a mix of both.
Now, being a wedding photographer, you must have tons of stories.
Yes.
What was like the best train wreck?
Oh gosh, I'm afraid to say. You know what? I'll be polite and I'll say, like, I think actually most of the real life weddings were fine. One time I almost got in trouble because the mother of the bride was mad at us because we stayed late to take photos of the bridal party and we were late to the reception, but it wasn't our fault anyway, and she got upset, and yeah. But honestly, the movie is a way better train wreck than any real life experience.
Now, was this, I'm so sorry.
I wrote and directed it,
Okay.
yeah.
So was this kind of like your first film project, second, third?
No, it was my 8th short film that I've made, but the others were kind of smaller. It was my first that I had like a real budget to work with. Yeah,
Then what was the coolest experience after doing this project?
It was a really intense shoot, and honestly, we had some big scenes where we were shooting the divorces in a big hall, and that was a great experience. That day, it was very busy, very intense, but it was so fun, and when I saw the footage afterwards, I was so happy because just seeing my vision come to life and seeing that twisted mind of mine up on the screen and seeing people laugh at it was awesome.
Now, to do this project, what was the most unique experience you never thought would happen to you while filming?
Oh my gosh. Hold on.
Is there a lot of it, or is it just a doozy of a question?
Well, it's just I want to say something, but I don't want to it's kind of we lost our cinematographer a week before we shot. That was really stressful.
That's the common thread. Either they lost
Right. Yeah. It was very, very stressful. But I don't know if that was a unique experience. Honestly, I think the whole thing was a unique experience. Getting to like shoot all these crazy divorces, getting to see that concept come to life, and working with our fantastic cast, because we had an amazing cast. We had Amy Maticio, Andrea DePaul, and a whole bunch of other super talented comedic actors. That was very unique. The whole thing was unique, honestly.
Any upcoming projects?
Yeah, so I'm working on a feature film version of this film.
Oh, okay.
And I'm working on a half-hour comedy series as well. Yeah.
All right. Can you tell me a little bit about your film?
Yeah, my film is about a girl that grows up in a family situation that is dominated by drugs and alcohol and violence, and she makes her own magical world to cope with that situation. Yeah.
And then where was the inspiration coming from this video?
Actually, it was someone in my class, a girl in my class, and she told me. Suddenly, she was just normal like everyone else. Yeah, but suddenly she told me about her family situation, and both her parents actually died from drug abuse, and I felt that was such a weird thing that she could be in my class and her family situation is like that, and I can't see it from the outside.
It was just kind of like a shock, like, whoa, there's actually something going on in the surface.
It was a shock, and then I decided to make a film that tried to explain that or show that. And also in the research, I found out that kids that go through a traumatic experience like that start to dissociate, it's called, and make their own world to cope with that situation. And that's why I did it like I did. It's mixed with animation and live action. So her world is animation with her shot on green screen, and all the other stuff is live action.
Did she know about your project, or did you like kind of tell her?
Yeah, I've told her it's not her story now. It doesn't look like her story, but it's inspired by her story. So she knows the.
What was her reaction to it?
She likes it, and I think she felt that it was good that I made something out of that, or were inspired by.
While filming this, what was like the most unique experience filming the whole thing?
The most unique is that my little sister actually plays the main character.
Oh.
Yeah, she does, because it was much more easy for me to like direct her when I know her. Yeah, it was actually. You wouldn't believe it, but
sibling fights or
no, but it was. We had the whole crew, so it was just me. She would like say, no, I'm not doing this. I'm going to get an ice cream, but she actually was like really cool, and we made her. Actually, we tried to make her bored the whole time, so she wasn't like really hyper and overacted. So we sometimes took longer time to like set up just to get her bored. Yeah, so get her like down there so she wouldn't overact, and that turned out to be a great thing to do it like that.
Wow! And then you told me that you came from Norway to LA. Is it your first trip to LA?
First trip to LA.
What do you think?
I think it's a really nice city. And I haven't seen everything because it's so huge, but what I've seen I really like. I think it's really cool, and the festival is really great.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Welcome to LA, and thank you for chatting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.